The all-new Mazda 3 has arrived and it's bound to be a hit with buyers. But is it better than our favourite small car, the Volkswagen Golf? We've brought the two together in their most affordable forms to see which is the best base model. The Mazda 3 Neo is the more affordable option here, priced from $20,490. The base model Volkswagen Golf 90 TSI costs $1,000 more at $21,490. Both cars miss out on alloy wheels, and neither model tested has a reversing camera or rear parking sensors. Both cars feature Bluetooth phone and audio streaming, but the Mazda has a fiddly dash-top stereo control system that looks somewhat of an afterthought compared to the impressive MZD Connect touchscreen in more expensive models. The Golf, though, features a more sophisticated 5.8-inch touchscreen media system that looks more premium and is far easier to use. The Golf lacks some character in terms of its presentation, and some may find it boring and conservative. However, it's high quality and feels more upmarket with its leather-wrapped steering wheel and leather gear knob. Its back seat offers excellent legroom for the size of the car. It has rear air vents as standard and offers better storage through the cabin, including large door pockets. The Mazda is also well put together, and its presentation, aside from mismatched fonts on its various digital information screens, is of a high standard. Though in Neo specification, there's no hiding the fact it's the base model car, with a plastic steering wheel and gear knob. It offers acceptable but not amazing room in the rear, and lacks rear seat air vents, which could be an issue for family buyers. It only offers bottle holders in the doors, rather than large door pockets. When it comes to the boot, the Mazda has 308 litres, which is actually smaller than the previous generation Mazda 3, but the Golf trumps it with 380 litres, considerably larger. At the other end of the car, these two are quite different in terms of what's under the bonnet. The Mazda has a new 2-litre 4-cylinder engine mated to a 6-speed manual in base form. On paper, it has the advantage over the Golf, with more power but identical torque and fuel consumption of 5.7 litres per 100. The 2-litre engine is a responsive little thing. You put it in 5th or 6th gear, let it sit at about 1,000 revs, put your foot down, and it's really tractable. When you do rev it hard in lower gears, it responds with enough power for pretty much anyone's needs. But it doesn't have that low down push that you get from the turbocharged car like the Golf. The shift action of the 6-speed manual is quite good, although the clutch in our test car is a little bit jittery. The Golf also has a 6-speed manual gearbox teamed to its engine, which is considerably smaller at 1.4 litres. With 90 kilowatts at its disposal compared to the 3's 114 kilowatts. So it does start from behind in terms of power. However, the torque is equal to the Mazda, and because it's a turbocharged engine, it feels a little bit more sprightly when you put your foot down, and you don't have to rev it as hard. The 6-speed gearbox offers a smooth, light shift action, and the clutch is nicely weighted as well. Both cars are at the pointy end of the field in terms of the drive experience, though there are some notable differences in comfort levels. The Golf feels more composed to drive, particularly over rough city roads. The suspension does an admirable job of dealing with lumps and bumps, and it also handles corners brilliantly. One thing you will notice if you step from the Mazda into the Golf is how much more quietly it drives. There's less road noise and less engine noise, and there's also less vibration through the cabin. Mazda has worked hard to build its brand identity around the words zoom zoom, and there's no question about it, the new Mazda 3 does drive very well, and it's fun to drive. Some people may find the steering a little too heavy, and they may also find the ride a little bit too firm. You do notice a lot more of the lumps and bumps in the 3 than you do in the Golf, which could be enough to turn people off. Mazda's worked hard to make this car quieter than the previous generation one, which felt like you had a road noise track playing on the stereo at all times. It's still a little bit loud on rough surfaces, and also there's quite a lot of engine noise intrusion when you do put your foot down. The Mazda 3 is the small car competitor we've all been waiting for, and the closest car yet to being able to push the Golf off its perch. However, in base model trim, it doesn't quite get there, which suggests the next model up, the Max, is a better buy. As for the Golf, well, it shines in so many areas that it's just difficult to ignore. It's the pick if you're buying the base car.